Good morning, Paleo Keepers, and welcome back. Today we're playing on Prehistoric Kingdom, and I've decided I'm going to make some simple enclosures where I don't go absolutely crazy with the buildings. I mainly just kind of focus on a somewhat an easy way of building a habitat inside. Now, recently I made the Pride Rock or Big Rock. I still haven't figured out what it's called from the Lion King. I tried making that style of enclosure within Jurassic World Evolution 2, so I thought, you know what, I'll go and give it a try and make it in Prehistoric Kingdom. And like I said, this is going to be as simple as I can make it. I don't want to go absolutely crazy with these builds. I know some people say like it's nice watching people build like very extravagant builds with like buildings and everything like that, but sometimes it's just nice to watch just like a simple and easy build. So that's what I'm going to try and do with this. I feel like the most complicated actual bit to this build is the rock work, and I decided to add like a little bit later my own touch to it just to make it a little bit different from what we actually see in the Lion King. And again, I had a lot of fun making this. It was quite simple, just a case of replicating the rocks, just changing the size of the rocks each time so they look a bit different, and it and basically is the same rock over and over again. But if you're changing the size of it and the width and the height, it's definitely going to almost give it a slight different feel to it. Like right now this is all built off, I think it's like 4 different rock types if I remember rightly, but it's going to start looking a little bit different because we're changing certain aspects of it. I really wanted this back bit to have like a bit more structure to it, so it didn't just look like it was randomly sticking out to the ground. And again, we're just going around the bottom, we're trying to fill it out a little bit so it's just like this random jud sticking out of the ground. So yeah, and we're just going to make this bigger and bigger. So I felt like it felt a tiny bit too small, so we just increase that size so when we've got our dinosaurs in there it's not looking too tiny but still looks pretty impressive. Now I decided I was going to add a arch to the side of it. This did come out of nowhere a little bit. I was like looking at it now, maybe it could have done the left side a bit more so it looks like it's coming out of that rock work rather than some random arch. But honestly, even without that bit, maybe something I'd come back to later on. But I actually do like the look of this, and it looks kind of cool seeing the animal that we're going to be adding to this enclosure walk through it, that being the Carcharodontosaurus. And I get a really nice screenshot of like the little family unit just stood underneath the arch with the sun on them. And again, it's just like a nice striking feature to the enclosure. We're going to be doing like a savanna grassland around it with obviously a pond for them to swim and also drink water from as well in one of the corners, so it's kind of out of the way and doesn't make it too green. I want that kind of dry look, especially around the rocks. So now you can go around placing trees individually, but like I said, I want to make this a simple build, and I feel like the simple way of doing things is using the brush provided. Like, it's not too bad at placing things, you know, you can just quite easily just do a bit of brushwork. And this is something I say a lot to people in my live streams, that this game is either as easy or as complicated as you want to make it. So I know a lot of people say, oh, this game feels like it's just too complicated for me and I wouldn't be able to make a good build. But it doesn't have to be constantly complicated. You can use the things in there to make this easy. Obviously, you've probably seen builds of mine in the future where I have like made the fencing custom from scratch, and then made like a custom viewing gallery, then made a custom shelter for them. You don't have to do that to enjoy this and make a nice little enclosure. As you can see here, I'm just messing around with the Carcharodontosaurus and decided what I want to pick. But yeah, it really didn't take all that long. All I did was slap the fence down, then I changed the building materials for the viewing gallery, which you can just do. You place a viewing gallery down, you go in the menu, you can change different aspects to it so you can make it fit in with your park. So if you like the look of the desert like viewing gallery but you don't want it to be deserty, you can change the colors, you can change the materials with like a simple click in the menu. You don't have to go and custom build it from scratch if you're not feeling that. And I feel like when it comes to making things, like just take your time. You don't have to be like this expert on the game where you make massive like enclosures from scratch. You can go around, use these mechanics which just make the game easy, relaxing and enjoyable at the same time. Even when you're building stuff, it's still relaxing, but like obviously if that's a bit daunting to you, this is a very easy way of playing the game. And that's what I wanted to kind of showcase with this video. I'm probably going to do more. If you want to see more, let me know in the comments. And if you want to see like a certain dinosaur enclosure being made for, or like a certain environment done in a very simple way, let me know. And I will get around to making those videos, because this was really enjoyable. So as you can see here, our little family are just enjoying their enclosure, and Carcharodontosaurus always looks really good in like a savanna grassland. I don't know why, it just feels like they are built for a savanna grassland, especially with this skin pattern right here. They look absolutely incredible, and it was just nice watching them run around this enclosure, especially with that like striking arch and like that pride rock in the background as like a feature to this enclosure. And yeah, anyways, I'd like to say thank you to everyone that's watched this video. I hope you've enjoyed it and it's given you some inspiration. Until next time, I'll see you later.
Yeah. What's your story?